You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Our top story tonight, a Bradenton couple is lucky to be alive following a recent hit and run where their motorcycle was struck head on. The couple continues their search for answers as to who could have done something like this. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live tonight from the corner of US 301 and 8th Street in Sarasota with more details. Good evening, Rick.
Yeah, good evening, Jacqueline. The crash happened right back there. The couple involved is looking for some justice.
In between the screaming, I kept saying, am I dying? Am I...
Heather Brisbois is talking about the night of Saturday, February 17th. That's when a minivan struck the motorcycle she was riding on with her husband, Ricky, and disappeared. The couple was heading back home to Bradenton after spending the day at Thunder by the Bay in Sarasota.
I remember the headlight hitting me, or hitting the bike. I remember watching Ricky go flying. It pinned me.
The injuries to Heather were very severe. She suffered a broken hip, broken femur, a busted kneecap, a broken tibia and fibula, a punctured artery, and every bone on her foot is broken. She was given a skin graft and metal rods were placed in her leg. As for Ricky Brisbois, he suffered a broken leg in the crash.
So I grabbed her out of the road because I could hear her screaming. And I pulled her to the sidewalk. And she kept saying she was dying, and I told her she's not dying. She's hurt real bad, but you're not dying.
In fact, Ricky also tied a sweater around his wife's leg to stop the bleeding, possibly saving her life. Heather's sister, a critical care nurse from Tennessee, has relocated to the couple's home to help them heal. It's a recovery that's expected to take many months.
I feel fortunate and lucky that I have the experience that I have, and I can be comfortable helping her and know that I can keep her safe and help her recover as quickly as possible.
The Sarasota Police Department has located the minivan, and the owner of the vehicle says he wasn't involved in the crash that night. Police say he does not have a driver's license and has a long history of driving violations.
He wants to say he wasn't driving it, which I don't believe him, but then tell us he was, because I don't believe that your van just took a stroll on its own and then magically ended up back in your driveway on its own, all banged up.
A GoFundMe page has been set up for Heather and Ricky Brisbois. They are asking for any help they can receive. The couple is now currently out of work, and their medical expenses total in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you know anything more about this crash, you're being asked to contact Sarasota Police immediately. Reporting live from Sarasota this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Jacqueline, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick. A Sarasota man is facing charges tonight after being accused of shooting his son-in-law in January. Deputies say Douglas Blanco shot his son-in-law Samuel Marks inside a home on Beneva Woods Circle. Marks was taken to the hospital where he was later released. Detectives obtained phone records from the day of the incident, revealing Blanco planning to shoot the victim. Additional forensic evidence gathered at the scene further connected Blanco to that crime. Investigators say that Blanco told them he wanted Marks out of the house. He has now been charged with aggravated battery with a firearm and is currently being held on bond. A bird's eye view has led to an interesting discovery in Port Charlotte. During regular patrols on Tuesday, the Charlotte County Sheriff's Aviation Unit spotted something unusual in a lake known as Lake Betty. After a search, it was revealed to be a submerged vehicle. That vehicle was removed from the water, and it was then identified as a vehicle that had been reported stolen back in 2014. Well, a beautiful night here on the Sun Coast. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert forecast. Bob?
Thanks, Jacqueline. Another warm one today, too. Temperature 81 degrees, marking the 11th straight day we had temperatures 80 degrees or warmer. 88 the record, though, so no record set, but it has been an extremely warm February. 72 degrees right now. We have fair skies, and the dew point still pretty high at 68. Winds are out of the west-southwest, very light at 3 miles an hour. Well, the high-pressure ridge, which has been dominating our weather for over 2 weeks now, is going to be eroding away, which will allow a cold front to move through. Not so much tomorrow or Friday, but we'll start to feel that cooler air over the weekend. It'll take a while to get through, but that front should be through by Friday night, and then the cooler air for Saturday and Sunday. Right now, a lot of rainfall to the north. Unfortunately, you see these little icons popping up every once in a while. That's flood warnings that are going on throughout Tennessee and also stretching over to Arkansas tonight. For us, no rain around. We don't expect a lot of rain with this front. We will get a few showers. Let you know the timing of that coming up a little bit later. Also, how chilly temperatures will get. Nothing chilly about these temperatures, though. Right now, 72 here in Sarasota. Jacqueline?
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. We'll check back in with you shortly. Today was the first day back at school for students at Stoneman Douglas High School, exactly 2 weeks since a former student opened fire on school grounds, killing 17 and wounding at least 15 others. As students returned to campus, as ABC's Maggie Ruley reports, the president hosting a bipartisan meeting focusing on gun control and school safety.
For students at Stoneman Douglas High, school may be back in session, but they know now their lives will always be different.
My school will never be the same. It will never be the same.
Today was a weird, strange, emotional day.
Their day began with fourth period, going to the same classes they were in 2 weeks ago when the shooting broke out.
When I got into the classroom, it was kind of like everyone stared at each other and got a little silent, and then we all kind of like reunited.
Grief counselors and therapy dogs were on campus.
I love the dogs so much.
I'm sure
it
that helps a lot.
Helping students find a new normal after 2 weeks that have been anything but. Many of these students are now pressuring lawmakers to make a change. And at a bipartisan meeting at the White House, President Trump called for bold action.
I think it's time that a president stepped up.
The most pro-NRA president in history repeatedly took positions that put him at odds with the NRA and many Republican leaders, like the possibility of background checks on all gun purchases, raising the age to buy an assault weapon to 21, and even opposing his own vice president on how to take guns away from people who are a possible threat.
Or might take the firearms first and then go to court.
Trump insists the NRA wants to do what's right, calling them patriots.
Well, companies are also feeling the pressure. Dozens have cut ties with the NRA, and now both Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart have announced that they are raising the age to buy certain guns to 21. Walmart says the decision came after a review of its firearm sales policy in light of that mass shooting in Parkland. The retailer says it is also removing items that resemble assault-style rifles from its website. Over 1,000 students stood in solidarity today in response to a national outcry for a change in gun laws. Students at Manatee School for the Arts participating in a walkout to urge Congress and state lawmakers to prevent further school shootings like the one that happened in Parkland. Students at today's walkout say they are demanding changes from Congressman Vern Buchanan, including a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines and an expansion of background checks to all gun sales. Meanwhile, the Sarasota County School District is working with its students and administrators to plan an observance in accordance with walkout events taking place nationwide on March 14th. This is to remember those who lost their lives in Parkland and around the country due to gun violence. The observance will begin at 10 a.m. for 17 minutes at Sarasota County schools. It will be planned and led by students with guidance and support from school district personnel. Well, $2.7 billion from the new federal budget will be going to schools recovering from 3 disastrous hurricanes and the recent California wildfires. That's all according to the Education Department, who made that announcement today. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos says she has been inspired daily by efforts of educators, administrators, and local leaders in getting students' lives back to normal following Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria, as well as the wildfires out west. The money will also help students displaced by the disasters, including those left homeless. A 7,000-year-old burial ground has been located off of Minnesota Key. This find is likely to gain national attention because it's the only one of its kind to be found in North and South America. Last year, a diver found human remains. He then contacted the Florida Department of State, which investigated and found the underwater burial site had at one point been a freshwater pond. The remains stayed preserved, wrapped in fabric.
Be located on the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico in an unprotected offshore marine environment. That's what's really remarkable.
Researchers believe at the time of burial more than 7,000 years ago, the Gulf of Mexico was far from where it is now. The site is protected, meaning it is illegal to disturb a site that has human remains. Well, it is almost that time of year again, spring break, with the busy travel season just a few weeks away. Rather, you may already be making plans, and you aren't the only one. Tampa International Airport predicts this year will be one of the busiest spring breaks on record, with an estimated 3.1 million travelers going through the airport. That's why airport officials are preparing now, adding extra staff in flights. The spring break travel period officially begins this Friday, March 2nd, and runs through Monday, April 16th. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus another staffing change at the White House. The president's communications director expected to resign. And a look at the Sarasota native and world-renowned high wire performer Nik Wallenda's latest stunt.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long con.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, March 3rd. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
The Sarasota native and world-renowned high-wire performer of the Flying Wallendas is at it again. Take a look at this. Nik Wallenda walking over the plaza at National Harbor in Fort Washington, Maryland, ahead of the arrival of the Big Apple Circus on March 8th. He even pauses halfway to give a little wave to the crowd. There it is. The 10-time Guinness World Record holder used a balance bar to cross the 230-foot span 75 feet in the air. Now there's no tether, harness, or safety net. As you can see right there, Wallenda giving everyone a bit of a scare when he stumbles just steps away from the other side, but he quickly recovers. The fabulous Wallenda's 7-person pyramid is a star act of the Big Apple Circus's 40th anniversary season. And I know last year when he was at Circus Sarasota, they kind of gave a few of us a few scares, but they pulled it off.
Yeah, it never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah.
You know, it is always scary. It's always scary watching it, but a lot of people certainly do enjoy watching it. At the end there, you see the guide wires, that are kind of moving as well. We are looking at some great weather here for tightrope walking. If you want to do that, not a problem. Not a really big wind with this front moving on through. Congratulations, Nick, by another successful around there. But beautiful shot. This one from Fred Seeger, who's sent pictures in many, many times. Fred out on Casey Key, and really appreciate that photo. And here's one, a little self-portrait, if you will, or selfie on the sailboat as the sun's setting in the background. That's Catherine, not the woman there, but the boat, the name of the boat right there, Longboat Key. Sydney Desmond at this one, the North Jetty. A nice picture there, framed up quite well. Casey Key, speaking of that, showing some flat, calm conditions out there on the waters today. And the winds and seas will be a little bit higher tomorrow in advance of the cold front that everyone's been talking about now, which will cool us down, especially on the mornings. So Saturday, Sunday, and Monday mornings, we're talking low 50s, which is slightly below average. Above average rainfall now from Texas through southeast Oklahoma, central Arkansas, all the way over to Tennessee. Tennessee by far getting the heaviest rainfall this evening, where there have been numerous flood advisories and flood warnings still going on at this hour. We're not going to see this rain come down with the front. It's going to stay basically to our north, but these flooding problems and concerns will be with them for at least the next 24 hours as more of that heads into the east and northeast. Now, the pollen count's been a big concern for us. It's been high in the tree category, and will stay that way too. Friday's forecast is calling for 11.4. Tomorrow should be 9.7, still in the high category, but very high expected on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the major allergen right now is juniper, which is one that causes all sorts of problems for humans. 72 degrees right now. We have fair skies, so a warm night. 72 is our typical temperature we'd see in the summer months at this time of night. 81 degrees the high today. Well below the average of 88, and 74 is our normal now. We'll get to normal temperatures on Saturday and Sunday with highs right around that 74-degree mark. 69 in Jacksonville now, 70 in Orlando, at 72 in Sarasota, 73 in Arcadia. Pretty much all in the low 70s here. The water temperature at 76 degrees. And with that warm water temperature, things will cool down just a little bit with the next few passages of the cold fronts. This cooler weather, by the way, will stick around. This is going to be a trend, I think, for the upcoming couple of weeks at least into March. Temperatures tomorrow, though, nothing cool about it. Upper 70s to low 80s expected by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You can see we'll start off into the low 70s for the most part, and we won't cool down really until Friday night, Saturday morning. That's when the cold front will actually have an impact on us in terms of temperatures. But for lows tonight, not all that low. In fact, we'll warm up quickly by 11 o'clock. Will be to 78 degrees. Well, here's the European forecast model showing that front coming down relatively dry. Not much to it. There'll be a few showers on Saturday morning. It clears our area. There's a nor'easter, but most of that will be offshore in terms of any heavy snowfall for those folks. But we are not anticipating much rainfall here, and looks as though things will stay pretty quiet for the weekend. South winds turn to the southwest. We'll start off at 5 to 10. We'll pick up to 15 knots in the afternoon. Seas will be running right around 2 feet with a moderate chop on the bays and inland water. So here it is tomorrow. By the way, at 5:02, there will be a launching of the satellite. The GOES-S satellite will take off at 5:02 from Cape Canaveral. Looks like the weather will cooperate for that, and that will take care of the western skies all the way out to Hawaii. 30% chance for showers late Thursday night, Friday morning, and then we'll start to clear and turn cooler. There they are, 72. Academy Awards on Sunday here on ABC7. We'll have a very nice day for award-winning weather, and then low 70s all the way through Wednesday, with a better chance for some showers on Wednesday of next week. Jacqueline?
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. Hope Hicks, the president's longest-serving aide, will resign as White House Communications Director. ABC's Stephanie Ramos has the latest on the move from Washington.
Hope Hicks is out. She is set to resign from her post as White House Communications Director in the coming weeks, sources confirmed to ABC News. 29-year-old Hope Hicks is one of President Trump's closest aides. She first met Ivanka Trump while working at a PR firm in 2012 and then rose through the Trump ranks.
Now, Hope Hicks is a tremendously talented person. She started off with us right from day one.
Her unexpected resignation comes just one day after Hicks spent nearly 9 hours on Capitol Hill being grilled on the Russia investigation. Lawmakers say Hicks didn't answer questions about her time in the White House and some questions about the transition. They say Hicks told the House Intelligence Committee she was instructed not to by the White House.
They're following the orders of the White House not to answer certain questions.
She has answered every possible question on the campaign, and my understanding is the White House has asked her not to answer questions on the transition and the time in the White House.
But Hicks reportedly did admit to congressional investigators she told white lies for the president, who wasted no time responding to Hicks' departure, saying in a statement, "She is as smart and thoughtful as they come, a truly great person. I will miss having her by my side, and I hope to work with her in the future." The White House says Hicks leaving now is pure coincidence and that she's been thinking about leaving the job for some time and wants to spend more time with her family. Hope Hicks was named communications director in September. She's the youngest person ever to lead the White House communications team. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington.
A bill that would restrict the most common type of second trimester abortion is ready for a final vote in the Florida House of Representatives. That proposal, if passed, would impose new restrictions on doctors performing dilation and evacuation abortions. The procedure would be prohibited unless the heart of a fetus is stopped first, either by the injection of a drug or by severing the umbilical cord. The bill would allow an exception when a woman's life is in danger and if no other medical procedures would suffice. Doctors who violate this law could be charged with a third-degree felony.
HB 1429 expresses respect for the dignity of life by prohibiting a physician from performing this brutal and torturous dismemberment on a living fetus.
The bill has drawn harsh criticism from abortion rights supporters who say this type of second trimester abortion is sometimes the only option available. Even if approved by the House later this week, the legislation seems unlikely to become law this year. Well, stay with us. Sports is coming up next.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Raycom Sports and Blizzard Entertainment are debuting a new 5-part series. It's called Heroes of the Dorm, and students from the Atlantic Coast region are competing in Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm for over $500,000 in scholarships and prizes. tournament features teams from colleges across the United States and Canada battling in Heroes of the Storm, featuring characters and lore from almost 30 years of Blizzard Entertainment. We also go behind the scenes with some of these gamers to see what they're doing when they're not playing video games.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Now, sports.
The Tampa Bay Lightning looking for its 5th straight win tonight. The Bolts hosting Buffalo at Amalie Arena. Tampa takes the early lead. Corey Conacher with the wrister goal from Dan Girardi. In the third, Tampa commits a late penalty in the period, and that power play carries over into overtime. Buffalo with the advantage. In overtime, Jason Pominville scores the power play slapshot game winner. Your final is 2-1 for the Sabres. And a perfect day for baseball and, of course, ABC7 Day at Sarasota's Ed Smith Stadium today.
For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Well, that is our very own Stephanie Roberts performing the national anthem before the game. And Good Morning Suncoast anchor Ray Collins throwing out the first pitch. The Orioles took on the St. Louis Cardinals today before a big crowd. This is the Cards' only visit to the area. Now let's take a look at some of the highlights from today's game. Machado destroys the John Brebbia pitch for the grand slam. The Orioles up 4-0. Then Davis hits a home run off his own to left. He goes opposite field for the 3-run homer, but just not enough. The Orioles lost 10-9 today. And there are 2 games on the Suncoast happening tomorrow. The Orioles will be in Port Charlotte to take on the Rays, and the Pirates will host Toronto at Recom Park. Both of those games get underway at 1:05 p.m. And of course, our Orioles fan of the day is an appropriate one for ABC7 Day. The fans sent in to us by Janice Schwitz. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Snapping a pic with ABC7's very own Ray Collins. They definitely looked like they were having fun. I know we all had a great time. Bob Harrigan and myself were out there as well. So great opportunity to meet so many of our viewers. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers when we return.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, so many fun activities to do here on the Suncoast and some great weather for it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow too, a launch going up at 5:02. Yeah. Here it is, the GOES S launch. We may be able to see it from this coast, but what an important satellite and what an important tool for us to be used for the western United States. We have the GOES East now in place. Nice day tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, Bob, and thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.